Hello YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to episode 7 of season 3 of Arrow, titled Draw Back Your Bow. This episode introduced Cupid, and now we'll jump right into my number 5. Cupid is my number 5 overall. The episode opens with the scene from Slade's invasion. At one point, Oliver stops the van, gets out, and stops two of Slade's army men and saves this redhead chick. We end up learning that her name is Carrie Cutter, and she is who becomes Cupid. She is completely obsessed with the arrow and pretty much wants to be in a relationship with her, be his lover. And at one point, Oliver even goes to her therapist to find out how does he deal with this woman. And she says that you can't lie to her. She has attachment issues and whatnot. Um, it was really interesting to see this kind of character, especially me because I want to be a forensic psychologist. I'm majoring in psychology and criminology. So it was very interesting to see this kind of character in the show. The attachment issues like this. Very interesting character. Very interesting episode for me. But now let's get into number 4. Um, Ray Palmer is rebranding Queen Consolidated. We've already seen that he's trying to rebrand Starling City into Star City, which is what it's called in the comics. But now he's completely rebranded and consolidated. Now he's just completely taken over the company, and it's now uh, Palmer Technologies. Even the logos changed. It's a P with like a little circling thing around it. The sign on top of the buildings now Palmer Technologies. It's completely rebranded the company. Um, you know, on top of that, Felicity's still working there. They go to a meeting. They're not platonic anymore. They did kiss. Oliver's not very happy about that. But the progression of Ray Palmer has been very fun to watch throughout the show. And we get to see progress even farther with him taking over Queen Consolidated 100% now. Number 3, in the flashbacks, we see some katana work. The place that Oliver's staying at, the woman, the wife, is going to be katana. And at one point, Oliver goes up to these triad people. I don't know if they're triad or if they're mafia, Japanese mafia, whatever. Um, but they are gonna kill her, and they're looking for her husband. Ends up he was just in lockdown over the Argus facility. They're in Hong Kong. Yeah, oh, I said Japanese mafia. I meant the Chinese mafia. Um, but he's in lockdown in Hong Kong. But she takes them all these guys out with a sword, which is what Katana is famous for. She uses a sword. So we do get to see Katana being born a little bit. She isn't the full persona of Katana, but she does have these skills of Katana right now, which is it was really cool to see. Number 2, going back to Cupid. Um, we now know that we will be seeing her later, not as really a foe of Oliver. I mean, we might see them kind of butt heads, but she'll be more part of the Suicide Squad. At the end of the episode, Diggle says that it took a little bit of convincing, but Cutter is the new psycho of the Suicide Squad. So now Suicide Squad has their own Archer. So we will be seeing her in future Suicide Squad episodes when we get more Suicide Squad episodes. So that's interesting to see. So we'll be seeing her back. Kind of a short review. A lot of the stuff I wanted to talk about was kind of short, but the biggest thing is the ending. Now there are two really cool things with the ending, so I'm just kind of putting in one. The one I'm more excited for, I'll talk about second. But the first thing is actually the first scene for this kind of the endings of the episode. Uh, was we see Ray Palmer working on something, kind of a hologram-like thing, behind his desk, in front of his desk, and we see it types it all out, ATOM exosuit, and I'm like, Adam, like we see the entire suit just materialize like a hologram, and he already has plans to become this vigilante called the Atom, completely technology-based. So really cool to see this character kind of come about. We already know that Laurel will become the Black Canary very soon in the show. So obviously Adam will be pushed a little bit later back, so we don't have, oh, here's a new Black Canary, oh, here's a brand new superhero. They're going to try to space it out, I would hope. Um, but we do see the beginnings of the Atom. First episode, we saw the beginnings of Black Canary with Laurel. And it's taken about 10 episodes for that to kind of pan out, 10 or 11 episodes until we see Black Canary. Um, So I'm assuming that it'll be later, much later on in the season when we see the Atom come about. But we do see the beginnings of Ray Palmer's vigilante coming. And what I'm more excited for is the introduction of one of the new Flash rogues. Now, yes, it was on Arrow because this character is being introduced on Arrow first, but I am 100% sure they will be going. I mean, Not confirmed, but I am fully confident they will bring this character to the Flash to make him part of the Rogues. Once Captain Cold and Heatwave kind of get wind of him, like, oh, he'd be nice to have on our team. It is Captain Boomerang, and from the previews and screenshots of what I've seen for the crossover event, Captain Boomerang will be the big bad, basically, for the crossover, the kind of the thing that brings the characters together. Um, and he did say his iconic line, "It always comes back." He throws his boomerang, the guy dodges it, and then it comes back and hits him in the back, and kills him. So we do see Captain Boomerang. He did have the Australian accent. It's kind of hard for me to pick up at first, but there were a couple words that he said. I'm like, oh, there's that accent. So it's really cool to see Captain Boomerang finally be introduced, and he does have the kind of, it's much more darker because he was introduced in Arrow, a dark blue outfit, which is what Captain Boomerang has. I don't remember if he had the hat or not. He most more often has the hat. I don't know if he has it, but he does like open his cloak and he does have like Boomerang takes one out and gets the guy in the back. So really cool to see Captain Boomerang in the next episode of Arrow. There will not be one next week. There'll be one in 2 weeks, December 3rd or 2nd. I don't know which one. I think it's the 3rd, and Flash is December 2nd. But that is it for this episode. I'm going to give this episode a solid 4. Very good episode. 4.5 because of the reveals and the character, the big bad for this episode and what's happened to her and all the stuff that's happened. Really, really good solid episode. Wasn't the best. I still think the 50th was the best episode so far. Hopefully the crossover will beat it. But until next time, I've been Epic Gamer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, God bless. See you then.